Well, hey there. So it is day 78 of 84 days of the Artist's Way. We're getting very close to 84 because we are currently in officially week 12, the final week of the Artist's Way, which is so fucking cool. I talked about this a little bit in my videos last week and have a little bit of an update now. I am calling this the week of yes. That this is my week of all yeses. It's me saying yes, it's other people saying yes to me, it's other opportunities in my life saying yes. It's the week of yes. It's the perfect way to end the Artist's Way. It's not something that I planned, but it's certainly the most perfect synchronicity. And it is absolutely the result of the formula for success that I identified in week one. How cool is that? How awesome is that to have not planned any of that and then to see the plan of choosing how you want to feel first and then going out into the world and taking action in that state of feeling however you want to feel and then seeing how life kind of corroborates to meet your feelings. I never really let myself try that because there was always this voice in my head that said, come on, if it was that easy, no one would be miserable. If it was that easy, life would be so easy. But the reality is, it's not that easy. It's not that easy to feel good when you don't have anything else around you in your life supporting that or making that feeling feel safe, because feeling good is very scary. Feeling good is very risky. Feeling good is very vulnerable. Choosing to feel good first before you have things in your life that you can look to for evidence can feel dangerous. And I know for myself, and I have to imagine it's true for a lot of other people, that it feels too dangerous and too much of a risk and too much of a chance of being totally fucking wrong and feeling delusional and feeling like you had your head in the ground and the whole time you should have been paying attention and feeling reality, you know? All of that resistance came up and would stop me and has stopped me for years. I really think over these past 12 weeks and really probably in the last couple weeks specifically, I have learned how to just see what happens if I choose to feel good for a little bit. If I start to just cultivate those feelings, like starting a fire. Choosing to feel good is just like starting a fire. You just have to set the kindling and you have to have the little spot ready for it and you have to have the intention to set a fire and you have to recognize that it's going to be a little bit of a process and that it's not, assuming you're not starting a fire with like, you know, some sticks, some newspaper, some lighter fluid, and a Bic. You know, we're assuming we're doing an old, you know, campfire style, you know, rock against a stick or God knows what. Either way, it's a process, right? You don't just blink and there's fire. You don't just say, I want to have a roaring fire so I can make s'mores. Where is my fire? Like, you still have to create it. You still have to build it so that you can have those s'mores. But the way that you get to that point is by thinking about how good it's going to be to have those s'mores, how good they're going to taste, how happy you're going to be that you are at that point. You're like, yes, I totally have what I wanted. And it's cultivating that good feeling. It's figuring out what does that actually feel like. It's diving into your own archives and your own resources of emotions and learning how to bring similar feelings back. How can you access feelings that are familiar? How can you find something that doesn't feel so alien? Because when you're feeling kind of stuck or scared or anxious or depressed, feeling good feels like something you've never felt before. It feels like something a million miles away. And so if you can find some experience in your life that makes that feeling of feeling good a little more accessible, then you can start to cultivate that feeling. It doesn't really matter where it came from. It doesn't matter if you're feeling good because you're thinking about a really happy time when you were 15, or if you're thinking about something that happened 6 months ago, or if you're thinking about a certain vacation you went on. It doesn't make a fucking difference. You just have to generate that emotion. You just have to generate those feelings. I mean, I can't really fully explain it. I can't. And I think that's kind of what's awesome about it. Like, I could go in and explain energy shifts, energies are moving, you know. By the way, I keep reaching up there. There's a big bruise here. I don't mean to pull a Marina Joyce. There's nothing wrong with me. I think it may have been from yoga or something. Anyway, I can't really fully explain it. I can just tell you that it's something that I've heard a lot of other people say, and it's something I resisted for a really long time, and then I finally decided to try it. And as soon as I tried it, things were set into motion. It did mean I had to let go of some ideas and some directions that I thought were the ones I was supposed to go towards to feel this way. And that was the hard part, and maybe that's what stops a lot of people, is that to feel that way, and I've talked about this in some of my previous videos, is I had to move towards the one thing I was feeling the most resistance about. I had to move towards the things that scared me the most. In this case, you know, last week I kind of had, it was like all of a sudden things kind of cropped out of nowhere. I had an interview for this digital advertising, you know, contract work from home, flexible hours kind of thing. We've been working on this freelance content editing thing, and we now have a call scheduled for tomorrow. And someone reached out to me to potentially do some pet sitting for her. And in that time, I've had the interview for the digital advertising position. I've since gotten an email about setting up a second interview with somebody else, which I kind of feel is a really good sign. As I've said before, I feel really good about this content editing thing. I really feel like you don't schedule a half-hour call to say it's not working out. On Friday, I met with the woman who needed some pet sitting. She's booked me for 2 stays this month, and she's actually been looking for a regular pet sitter when she goes away every month. So now I have a monthly gig that lets me hang out with 2 really cool dogs and a really sweet little one-eyed cat. It's a 3-mile bike ride away, an amazing little bike ride. And it's basically some play money or money to help pay off some of these credit card bills that I racked up over the past 8 months. Like, here's what happened. I met the dogs, I met the woman. She said, hey, I've got somebody else that I'm seeing tomorrow, so I'll get back to you, but I feel really good about this. She texts me a few minutes after I leave and says, hey, I gave it some more thought. I'd really like to go forward with booking you, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, all right. The week of yes is starting early. So I'm taking that as a good sign, and I'm just assuming that this is my week of yes. And it's not just about what other people are saying. It's not just about getting yes from these other things. It's me saying yes to what comes up. It's me saying yes to what experiences present themselves or what opportunities or connections present themselves. That's really what it is. Again, this is an extension of the surrender experiment and just saying yes to the things that are showing up in life and recognizing that this must be part of the story. Whoever has written the story has written the whole thing, so they have a better idea of how it's going to play out than I do. All I'm doing is turning the pages. And I certainly can't just sit here and say, no, I don't want the story to go in that direction, because that's where the story is going. I do feel very scared and very vulnerable, and I do feel like I'm taking a huge risk. No, I'm also feeling a lot of like intense energy around my chest and around kind of like the heart chakra, you know? And I think that it's tempting to try to like tamp down that energy and just kind of get away from it. But I think in this week of yes, it's about using that energy and seeing what happens when I use that to say yes instead of using it to hide behind and say no, if that makes sense. So that's today. I'm going to have updates every day this week. That's what I think. And I can't wait to bring them to you. I can't wait to have them. I can't wait to experience them. I can't wait to see where my life is going, especially now as I am transitioning off of the artist's way. What a cool fucking place to be. Anyway, that is all for now, and I will see you tomorrow for another day of 84 Days of the Artist's Way. All right?